Some extraordinary work has been achieved in just a few years. Over 30 competition venues and over 100 non-competition venues. You may find yourself at a competition venue like Stadium Australia. You may be a driver, at the airport, or issuing uniforms at a non-competition venue. Wherever you find yourself, providing an exceptional level of customer service to our visitors is vital to the success of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to Games Force 2000, and I'd most sincerely like to thank each and every one of you for being part of the workforce that's going to deliver just a great Games for Sydney and for Australia. You know, we're sitting in a room here where you can see examples of the planning that's been done now for many, many years, the maps, the diagrams, but it all comes down to the workforce, training well and then delivering on the day. Really, the Games, Australia's reputation, is in your hands. Thank you for being part of it. Thank you for delivering.
The Sydney 2000 Olympic and Paralympic Games will attract over 2 million visitors from more than 200 countries. As a member of the Games workforce, you will be one of the main points of contact for people visiting and working at our Games. Your customers may include spectators, athletes, officials, the media, and your own Games workforce colleagues. These visitors will take their impressions home and share them with others. Your customer service might be the key difference between a positive or negative experience. Providing good customer service means aiming to exceed customer expectations. To do this, you must know your venue, your team, your job, your facts, yourself and your limits. By thoroughly understanding these elements, you will be able to meet customers' needs with confidence.
When I think about gold medal customer service, I think about going the extra distance for those people that we're here to help. Games Force 2000 are the front line. They are the people who are going to be out there that our visitors are going to be talking to. And I think it's important to think about their needs, to listen carefully to what they're saying, to follow through on helping them, and just to provide that warm, friendly and sincere support that they're looking for.
At the end of the day, perhaps, not everybody expects every need to be met, but they do expect us to try, and trying alone, doing our best, is what we'll be remembered for.
Whether you are stationed at a competition venue or a non-competition venue, such as an accreditation area or a staff dining room, you need to provide exceptional customer service.
People coming into an Australian context are just as likely and expecting to absorb and be considerate of our culture as we should be of theirs. And so I think the rule is be yourself, be proud of who you are and how you do things, and also respect that others might indeed be different. There is no one culture. I don't have one culture. I was born in a certain country. I've come from a certain country. Someone would say, I'm Italian. I'd say, well, I have Italian heritage.
I very well remember being up in Nagano for the Winter Olympic Games, and one of the things that stays in the memory of me and many who were there about that is the wonderful attitude, the wonderful customer service provided by the Japanese workforce, including the volunteers. They were dealing, after all, with people from all around the world. The language difficulties were there from time to time, but it didn't matter because you knew they were well trained and they were trying their very best to deliver the goods. That'll be a lasting memory out of Nagano, and we can have the same sort of memory out of our wonderful Games in Sydney and Australia.
Good afternoon, Sydney 2000. I hope you're
People with disabilities live, work and achieve just like other members of the community. It is their right to receive the same level of service as any customer. This right is protected by anti-discrimination legislation. It's more than just knowing where the wheelchair-accessible toilets and ramps are located. It's about seeing the customer with a disability as an individual and understanding their specific needs.
For the last 12 years I've been playing wheelchair basketball, and in 1996 won a gold medal at Atlanta. I like doing pretty much anything that everyone else would like to do. Believe it or not, probably a bit of gardening, going actually to the cinema with my friends and going out to good restaurants and the like.
Most of the people with disabilities in the general community are very independent people and don't require as much mollycoddling, I guess, as you would really think. Certainly be proactive in your approach. Don't be intimidated. The approach is always necessary. It's the response to the approach which you need to gauge.
I'm a very independent person. I mean, I've lived on my own for the last 6 years, and I do water ski, I do snow ski, I do drive a car, and there's been times where people have actually imposed their help on me. And they've literally pushed me out of my wheelchair.
I guess the things that I would find patronising, if someone was to offer me some assistance and I didn't need it, forcing that assistance on me, which, if it's not needed, can actually be worse than not having any sort of assistance at all.
Effectively, you will get a lot of information when you get briefed about accessibility, and that's what it's called. It's called accessibility. So there's no such thing as a disabled toilet. It's an accessible toilet. It's not a disabled bus, it's an accessible bus and accessible seating. Pretty much, if it was disabled, it wouldn't work.
If the customer is using a wheelchair, and if practical, you should crouch down to the customer's eye level and respect their personal space by not touching them or their chair. Never address the person's partner, friend or family member unless instructed, even if you think it might be quicker or easier to do so. When talking to someone with a hearing impairment, speak clearly using your normal tone and volume. Keep your face visible at all times while you are talking. Use visual materials or a pen and paper to help you communicate if necessary.
My name is Ming and I'm a
Introduce yourself by name to a person with a vision impairment. You may guide a customer by offering them your arm. Walk at a normal pace. Never pat or distract a guide dog while it is in harness. We want to help you take pride in your role in the Olympics and Paralympics. Proactively look for customers who look like they need assistance. Reflect on what the customers are telling you. Inform the customer with correct facts. Deal with the uniqueness of every situation. Engage the customer with your genuine consideration and courtesy. Remember, good customer service starts with you, so aim to deliver your personal best.
So thanks very much again for your support and the time that you're giving up. You really are the people who are going to make a difference. You are the front line of the Games, and we can't do these Games without you. So we're very grateful for your support, and I know that you will make a difference to the success of both the Olympic and the Paralympic Games.
Whatever your role is, you'll be an ambassador for Australia, and you can be proud of your contribution to the success of the Games. By wearing the Games Force 2000 uniform, you may be asked all sorts of questions, and not just about the Games. People want to know more about this town too. Whilst the city of Sydney is a relatively modern city, Aboriginal people have lived on this site for over 40,000 years. Today, diverse groups of Aboriginal people from all over Australia live here. Some of you know Sydney well. Others have travelled here to be part of the Games. Wherever you're from, take the time to prepare yourself with a variety of suggestions for our visitors about where to eat, what to do, and where to go in our culturally diverse city. When people think of Australia, they think of all of these incredible places to visit. In somewhere like Sydney, there's 1,000 things to see and do. What we want to do here is show you some things and take you some places that are beyond the bridge, the Opera House and the wonders of Sydney Harbour. This is the Hermitage Foreshore Walk. It runs between Neilson Park, which has a beautiful harbour beach and swimming area, and the suburb of Rose Bay. This is what the Sydney Harbour foreshore has pretty much always looked like. Weird, twisted shrubs, gorgeous sandstone rocks tumbling down to the water. It's great. You can be in bush like this, and the city is just over there. This here is the Art Gallery of New South Wales. Houses a terrific collection of Australian art from the 19th century, some magnificent contemporary works as well. One of the best things you'll find here is the Yiribana Gallery and its collection of Aboriginal art. So Angela, what's going to be on here at the gallery during the Olympics?
Our major exhibition will be Papunya Tula, Genesis and Genius, featuring a sand painting, artists from the desert coming to show us the process of the sand painting. An integral part of the exhibition will be a performer in residence program, so people can come any day and see an Aboriginal performance program. At the same time, there'll also be the Australian Icons exhibition running, which is 19th and 20th century Australian art. And it's going to be a really wonderful welcome to all the visitors to Sydney during this period.
Fantastic. Don't miss the Yiribana Gallery and all the rest of the great works housed in the Art Gallery of New South Wales. OK, let's eat. And this is Chinatown. This year is the year of the Golden Dragon, a year which comes just once every 60 years, and Chinatown is really pumping. There's the latest fashions. Paris, Milan, Chinatown. Food. Shops you wouldn't believe. To keep up with it all, there's 4 local Chinese language newspapers. I thought I said let's eat. Chinatown is serving food and drink at least 24 hours a day. There's about 40 sit-down restaurants, there's food halls with dozens of stalls lining the walls. There's coffee shops, bakeries and bars. You can enjoy a little duck or just grab yourself a quick snack. Sydney's got great shopping, and right next door to Chinatown is Paddy's Market. Row after row of toys, t-shirts, sunglasses, souvenirs. Perfect. It's the kind of place that leaves you wanting less. Shopping, eating, cultural excitement. You gotta love this town. And what else is there to love about Sydney? Well, what about the beach? Sydney is a city of 4 million people, and all of them have their favourite beach. It might be Bondi, it might be Manly, it might be Palm Beach up north. But let me tell you about one that doesn't get all that much attention. This is Balmoral Beach. It's tucked in just behind the suburb of Mossman. It's a harbour beach, and you can swim here without any fear at all of the hammerhead or the great white, as it comes complete with its own shark net. Balmoral's got a lovely, gentle, calm sort of air about it. It's a place for strolling, for an easy-going swim. You can eat. Some of Sydney's finest restaurants are here, and the local fish and chips are just great. Beautiful old figs and palms, and the magic of tiny Rocky Point. And if you're lucky, you might catch one of the many events that takes place in this rather Romanesque bandstand. This is a great city. The light, the water, the warmth, the people, all combine to make this a magic city to live in and to visit. Enjoy it, we do, and good luck helping all of our visitors to enjoy it as well. And don't forget, there's also a huge program of opera, dance, music, theatre and visual arts events on in Sydney and Australia at Games time as part of the Olympic and Paralympic Arts Festival. So now you know what to expect when working at the Sydney 2000 Games. We hope you'll have a great time, and on behalf of TAFE New South Wales, we thank you for your hard work and enthusiasm.
You know, we've been embarked on this journey now for many years. The bid was won back in 1993, and since then a tremendous amount of work has been done. It's my view that we have a great Olympic Games, a great Paralympic Games within grasp now, if we just finally deliver the goods. And whilst it started many years ago, it will finish with you, the Games Force 2000, because when it comes right down to it, on the day, you will be the people who deliver the Olympic and Paralympic Games for Sydney, for Australia, for the athletes, for the international Olympic movement. And when we've had a great Games, the credit is going to be yours.
I'm selling programs. My office is just over there.
Hi, I just need to see your accreditation.
Accreditation? What's accreditation?
The Sydney 2000 Olympic and Paralympic Games are almost here, so it's time to get serious about accreditation. Accreditation is all about this pass. My pass gets me into the competition areas of the Aquatic Centre where I'm swimming and into the Athletes Village where I'm staying. Your accreditation pass will get you to where you need to go to do the job that you've been given. Accreditation is compulsory. It's essential to control the flow of people around and inside our venues. Besides training, it's the most important thing we all need to do. And with a bit of advice, it's easy. More than 200,000 people will need to go through the accreditation process. Volunteers, contractors and athletes alike. It's not complicated, but there are some important things you need to know. Accreditation happens in two stages. First, you'll receive a non-valid pass. Then you need to take it to an accreditation centre to have it validated. Do the right thing and get in early. Like everywhere else, our accreditation centres will get a lot busier later on.
Hi. Thank you. Yep. Yep, it's you.
But with a non-valid pass and a personal appearance, the rest is really easy.
That's fine, thanks.
Thank you very much.
The staff will validate, trim and laminate your pass, and then you're ready for action.
There we go. Okay, so your pass goes like this, with your photo facing up, and you need to hold it out for inspection whenever you're moving into a new venue, and make sure it's always clearly on show.
Thank you.
No problem.
You can come here without your non-valid pass, but you'll need to wait while the information is processed and a non-valid pass is produced. That means queuing twice, which takes a lot more time. It's what I'd call a last resort. At the Uniform Distribution and Accreditation Centre, UDAC, you can also pick up your uniform at the same time. If you lose your pass, you'll need to go right back to the beginning and have it reissued. And if you're working at the Paralympics, you'll need a separate accreditation pass. But no matter what type of pass you need, it's really important to get in early. If you meet the deadlines, sending in your forms and your photo and visit the accreditation centre as soon as you can, the whole process will take about 2 hours. Different people need different passes, and SOCOG decides what type of pass you'll need to do the job you've been given. There are several different types of passes and 6 colour and number codes. The different pass types are a Games Pass, a 2-part pass and a Day Pass. A Games Pass is valid for the duration of the Olympic or the Paralympic Games. It's for everyone who knows in advance where they'll be working. A 2-part pass is for people who could be working in a different location each day. The first part of the pass is all about the person in the photograph, and it stays with them. The second part has venue and within venue access entitlements. You collect it from your supervisor each day and hand it to your supervisor or manager at the end of the day. This pass allows you to be deployed to different venues or areas within venues each day. A day pass allows access for the day of issue only. These will be used if you're temporarily reassigned to a new area. Day passes will also be used if you've lost your pass on the way to your shift, so you can still do your job for that day. After your shift is finished, you need to go to the UDAC and have your original pass reissued. Even before the crowds arrive, the games will be alive with people and action behind the scenes. Understanding where your pass does and doesn't let you go is all about colours and codes. Your pass will set out which venue you can access. These colour and number codes relate to different areas called zones at each venue. White gains you access to general circulation areas. That's where ticket holders are allowed to go. Red gets you into operational areas. Blue gets you into field of play and athlete preparation areas. That's my colour. Every step down the chart includes the level before it. So red includes access to white, and blue includes access to white and to red. 4 is for press areas. 5 is for broadcast areas. 6 is for the Olympic Family Lounge, and R is for the residential zone of the Olympic Village. Reg will be looking after dignitaries in the Olympic Family Lounge. Cheryl has a paid job as a contractor selling programs. While everyone's part of the same process, Reg and Cheryl have very different accreditation passes. This part of the pass is the venue, and Reg will be at the tennis centre at Homebush. That's a nice photo, and he remembered to smile, almost. Cheryl's is for the tennis centre today. Reg's within venue code is white because the Olympic Family Lounge area is accessed from the general circulation areas. He's also got a 6, which is a special clearance code for the lounge itself. The part where he's working is not open to the general public. While all passes have a colour, not all of them will have a number code like this. Cheryl has a 2-part pass with a red access code. The first part is all about her, and the second part is about the venue. Today she's selling programs inside the tennis centre. The second part is detached and handed in at the end of each day. She'll probably be working at another location tomorrow. There are many variations on the colour and number your pass might have. Sue is working in the tennis centre as a sports staff volunteer. Her blue pass gives her access to the field of play. Joan works inside the tennis centre. Her red pass allows her access to operational areas where she monitors access between zones. These codes mean the system works for everyone. People on the ground know where they can go, and crowd flow and essential operations can be managed without a hitch. If you do get confused, all the codes are printed on the back of your pass, and all the gates around the Olympic site are colour-coded. Gates and checkpoints at the Olympic venues share the same colours. White means general circulation, red is for operational, and blue is for athletes' preparation and field of play. Every venue uses the same labelling. Every time anyone enters, their pass needs to be presented and checked closely. Reg likes to wear his sunglasses around his neck, but he needs to be sure that his pass stays clearly visible.
Excuse me, sir. I just need to read the details on your pass to make sure you've got access to
That's
this
how
area.
closely every pass will be checked and rechecked every day. With a different location every day, it's essential Cheryl keeps her 2-part pass clearly on show. Make sure that your pass is always on show, and whatever you do, don't lose it. That's what accreditation's all about. Because it's my clearance to compete, it's always exciting being officially accredited. Over the years, I've learnt that if you plan ahead, accreditation is no problem at all. Understanding the process helps everyone. Getting it right means that when our big moment comes, you and I will both be able to concentrate on turning in a personal best performance at the Sydney 2000 Olympic and Paralympic Games.